Hey guys, welcome to another episode of our weekly horror stories. We hope that you will enjoy this video as much as we enjoyed making it. Be a good patron and like the video, subscribe to the channel and share this with your friends and family. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Once upon a time, in the quaint little town of Willowville, there stood an old, rusted vending machine. It was a relic from the past, with faded paint and buttons that stuck when you pressed them. This vending machine was unlike any other in the world, for it had a sinister secret lurking within its mechanical heart. The townsfolk had affectionately named it Vinny the Vending Machine, and it had been a part of Willowville for as long as anyone could remember. Vinny stood at the corner of Elm Street and Main Street, right in front of Mrs. Jenkins's antique shop. But Vinny wasn't your ordinary vending machine. It had a peculiar reputation. The legend of Vinny began with old Mr. Abernathy, who claimed that one dark and stormy night, he approached the vending machine to buy a bag of chips. As he inserted his dollar bill, he heard a whisper emanating from the machine. "Choose wisely, for your fate depends on it." Startled, Mr. Abernathy picked a bag of plain potato chips and watched as it clunked down into the dispenser. As he reached for the bag, the vending machine rattled ominously and then emitted a ghostly giggle. Mr. Abernathy rushed home, convinced that he had imagined the whole thing. However, the next morning he found himself transformed into a human potato chip. His skin had turned a crispy golden brown, and he couldn't help but emit a faint potato chip scent whenever he moved. The townsfolk were baffled, and from that day on, they began to suspect that Vinny was more than just a vending machine. Word of Mr. Abernathy's bizarre transformation spread throughout Willowville, and the townspeople became both fascinated and terrified of Vinny. Some believed it was cursed, while others considered it a prank played by mischievous spirits. One day, Sally, a young and adventurous girl, decided to put Vinny to the test. Armed with a $5 bill and a daring spirit, she approached the haunted vending machine. She could feel its eerie presence as she inserted the money. The machine whispered again, "Choose wisely, for your fate depends on it." Ignoring the goosebumps on her arms, Sally made her selection, a can of soda. She watched as the machine whirred and clunked, releasing the can into the dispenser below. Sally grabbed the can and made a run for it, but as she walked away, she could hear faint, sinister laughter trailing behind her. That night, as she opened the soda can, a cloud of fizzing, ghostly spirits emerged, filling her room with eerie laughter. Sally managed to trap the spirits back into the can, but she knew she had narrowly escaped a dreadful fate. Determined to uncover the mystery behind Vinny's malevolent nature, Sally enlisted the help of her three best friends, Benny the Brain, Lucy the Daredevil, and Pete the Prankster. Together, they formed the Ghostbusters of Willowville. The gang spent weeks researching the history of the vending machine, discovering tales of previous encounters with the vending machine's eerie powers. One story told of a man who had picked a candy bar and had been turned into a living, breathing chocolate bar. Another spoke of a woman who chose a bag of gummy bears and ended up with gummy bear limbs. Armed with this information, Sally and her friends devised a plan. They gathered an assortment of items from the vending machine's past victims, including a potato chip, a candy bar, and a gummy bear, and placed them in front of Vinny as offerings. Then they inserted a $20 bill and waited. Vinny's mechanical coils whirred, and it whispered in a deep, echoing voice, "Choose wisely, for your fate depends on it." Lucy, feeling particularly brave, selected a bottle of water. The machine clunked loudly and the bottle dropped into the dispenser. As Lucy retrieved it, she could hear the vending machine let out a satisfied hum. But Vinny had fallen into their clever trap. The spirits of its past victims emerged from their respective items and swirled around the vending machine, creating a dazzling, ghostly light show. With a final triumphant cackle, the spirits were freed, and Vinny's curse was lifted. The townsfolk of Willowville were overjoyed, and Vinny the vending machine was no longer haunted. It became a symbol of triumph over the supernatural and a testament to the power of friendship and courage. Sally and her friends were hailed as heroes, and they continued to enjoy their adventures in Willowville, where every day brought a new mystery to solve. And so, the legend of Vinny the Vending Machine transformed from a tale of horror into a heartwarming story of resilience and bravery, reminding everyone that even the spookiest of legends can have a humorous and unique ending when faced with the power of friendship and determination.